NASA gave a pressing admonition. Pluto is not what you think. What is NASA insinuating here? Are they alluding to the most recent discoveries from the New Horizons space test, which show that odd things are happening on Pluto's surface? One of the unstable pictures shows an object that seems to be coasting across the outer layer of Pluto. This raises upsetting inquiries concerning whether some sort of previously unknown life exists on this far-off world, or are we dealing with an odd geological phenomenon? Pluto may be small, but the stories it has to tell are huge and brimming with surprises. When Pluto's planetary status was renounced in 2006, researchers were unaware of the information from the New Horizons test, which only reached Pluto after 9 years. From that point forward, we have known that there is much more to this little fellow than was previously believed. How did space experts come to deny this planet, which we have all grown up with as a genuine planet? This was due to the discovery of various other small planets in the Kuiper belt, leading to the need for a clear distinction between what is a planet and what is a dwarf planet or trans-Neptunian object. Pluto scores points for its size and round shape, but the planet shares its orbit with several other objects. The orbit is thus not considered clear, and this was the main reason why Pluto was no longer included in the list of major planets in the solar system. Many people on Earth think this is a shame, and this decision by astronomers caused horror among the populace. Many individuals could not imagine that Pluto, which has been a part of our planetary system since the 1930s, was no longer considered a planet. There were letters of dissent to NASA, popular scientists stood up against the downgrade, and even states received letters from irate residents requesting that Pluto be reinstated as a planet. In 2015, when New Horizons sent us the first genuine picture of Pluto, the rejected minor planet showed us its charming face. Before that, images of Pluto were creative portrayals, not genuine pictures. Even the Hubble telescope could not capture a clear view. Only New Horizons could reveal Pluto as it truly is. Beautiful, friendly, incredibly enthusiastic, and with a heart. From that point forward, the planet on the outer edge of the solar system has won over even more friends. Maybe astronomers will change their minds one day, and we will get Pluto back as a planet. The first genuine pictures of Pluto took everyone's breath away. It was a magical moment when the principal data from the New Horizons test arrived at mission headquarters in 2015. Everyone present knew they were about to see a planet for the first time, one that everyone was somewhat familiar with but had never seen up close. The computers on Earth assembled this captivating picture from thousands of individual pieces and pixels. What the test revealed about Pluto was a discovery that completely turned our understanding of this distant planet on its head. Pluto is much more diverse, structured, and alive than planetary scientists had previously expected. The little planet appeared to be covered in landscape structures and possibly even weather phenomena, which no one had anticipated. With each new piece of data that New Horizons sent, the foggy, mysterious world in the darkness of the Kuiper belt became a clear object, showing so much life that it took researchers' breath away. More and more astounding and topographical wonders opened up before the scientists' eyes. Instead of the expected icy and cratered wasteland, Pluto turned out to be a dynamic place with magnificent chunks of ice, deep canyons, and smooth, icy surfaces. It took years for the countless bits of data, photographs, and findings to make the long journey from Pluto to Earth. Starting in 2015, we have been continuously amazed by new intriguing aspects of Pluto. Who is that walking on Pluto's surface? It's stunning. This moving picture circulated in the media in 2016. What could it be? It looks like a person walking across a peculiar honeycomb-shaped snowdrift. You can actually see ice scenes here, but unlike on Earth, these frozen surfaces are not made of water but of nitrogen and methane. Researchers identified the unusual object as a dirty chunk of ice, which appears to be floating over the surface of the ice-covered plain. The large block of ice is probably made of incredibly solid nitrogen. These bizarre-looking landforms revealed something very special to researchers. They now believe there is a nitrogen repository several kilometers beneath Pluto's surface, where the solid blocks form. Geological activity in the planet's interior pushes these blocks upwards, creating the honeycombs and structures like the obviously wandering mountain. This points to a warm core of the planet, and this finding alone could have significant implications for our understanding of Pluto. Pluto is far more active than previously believed. Land movement from heat and changes in surface designs indicate a kind of aliveness that shows we have underestimated Pluto. This little fellow shows a heart as well as fire, and that might mean there are pockets of liquid inside Pluto that resemble seas or magma. The head of the geography team of the New Horizons mission, William McKinnon, even compared the inner life of the dwarf planet to an astrolite the size of Hudson Bay in Canada. Virtual simulations showed that this impressive scene developed over millions of years and is still very active today. Can you see the distinct X on the right below the ice sheet? This formation was likely created by sublimation, where a substance changes directly from a solid to a gaseous state, and the liquid phase vanishes. These processes occur due to the extreme temperatures on Pluto, mysterious land processes and weather phenomena in a seemingly dead world. Christmas in the snow on Pluto. Does that sound crazy to you? Well, it's a reality. Pluto truly is an unexpected world. The New Horizons mission revealed fascinating aspects of the atmosphere and seasonal changes on this planet. Pluto, which orbits in the cold, distant regions of the Kuiper Belt, experiences significant seasonal variations due to its eccentric orbit and tilt. The New Horizons space test found that Pluto's atmosphere, a thin layer of nitrogen, methane, and carbon monoxide, changes significantly depending on how close or far Pluto is from the Sun. The changes affect not only the atmosphere but also the surface conditions of the dwarf planet. One especially wonderful aspect of the atmospheric elements is snow on Pluto, which consists mainly of frozen nitrogen and methane. Unlike on Earth, where snow forms from water, the very low temperatures on Pluto cause the much more volatile gases nitrogen and methane to gather and fall as exotic snow. These processes shape and restore Pluto's surface by covering the landscape with new deposits. The disturbances drive other geological activity in the form of icy movement and possibly even cryovolcanic cycles. The New Horizons examination also showed that these seasonal cycles are closely connected to atmospheric thickness. When Pluto is closest to the Sun, the sparse light is enough to warm up the dwarf planet's atmosphere, making it extend slightly and rise. When Pluto moves away from the Sun again, the atmosphere freezes and sinks back to the surface. This dynamic leads to a unique phenomenon. When Pluto's atmosphere condenses, it could literally snow with snow consisting of nitrogen and methane. The variations in surface brightness and the distribution of icy deposits further suggest that almost all surface features and landscapes on Pluto are related to these atmospheric cycles. Since Pluto's mountains are not made of rock but of ice, which is very dynamic in this world, the entire surface moves far more than that of Earth. For instance, what does Pluto's heart consist of? Who would have imagined that Pluto's heart isn't just a lovely mark? In addition to its impressive appearance, this region is also one of the most interesting regions on the planet. Officially called Sputnik Planitia, the region is named after the first artificial satellite, Sputnik 1, which the Soviet Union sent into space in 1957. This large heart-shaped ice surface extends over an area of around 1,000 kilometers and consists mainly of nitrogen ice with inclusions of frozen methane and carbon monoxide. The bright, almost flawless surface of Sputnik Planitia forms a stark contrast to the darker, more complex regions around it. Geologically, Sputnik Planitia is a massive impact structure that was probably later altered by volcanic cycles. Unlike typical volcanic activity on Earth, where magma rises from the Earth's interior, cryovolcanism on Pluto involves icy materials rising from the dwarf planet's interior to the surface. The heat sources in the depths of Pluto cause nitrogen and other volatile substances to warm up and push upwards, where they freeze and form unique formations like this one. Sputnik Planitia is remarkably flat, which leads researchers to conclude that the icy surface is regularly renewed by internal processes. It's probably convection processes inside the ice sheet that shape these landscapes. Researchers suspect there might be an expanse of liquid water underneath the smooth ice sheet of Sputnik Planitia, kept liquid by the heat inside Pluto. Scientists question whether forms of life can exist in the subglacial ocean, but it's not entirely impossible. What role does Charon play? What scarcely anybody knew before the New Horizons mission is that Pluto has its own moon, and not just one. Charon is Pluto's largest moon and was discovered in 1978, with a diameter of around 1,212 kilometers. Charon is so large that it forms a highly interesting double system with Pluto, as the two bodies rotate around a common center of gravity outside Pluto. Researchers now suspect that Charon is not a true moon but also a dwarf planet that has somehow attached itself to Pluto. This unique celestial body has a significant impact on both heavenly bodies. For instance, the gravitational interaction between Pluto and Charon leads to tidal forces that impact the surfaces and possibly the internal structures of both bodies. These forces might be responsible for Pluto's warm interior and the geologic activity it displays. Charon's influence also extends to Pluto's rotation, as both bodies are bound to one another, always facing the same side. Charon could possibly also have an internal liquid ocean. Similar to Pluto, Charon also shows signs of a geologically active past. Its surface is marked by deep canyons and large, smooth areas, suggesting that the ice has shifted and rearranged over time. Cryovolcanism is also suspected here, where liquid water mixed with ammonia was likely ejected from Charon's interior. Additionally, Charon has its own atmosphere, although it is extremely thin and mainly composed of nitrogen. This atmosphere, similar to Pluto's, changes with the seasons. Researchers believe that Pluto and Charon have influenced each other over billions of years, leading to the fascinating world we know today. The discovery of Pluto's other moons is another marvel that has provided researchers with insights into the evolution and structure of the entire system. The New Horizons mission revealed 4 more moons of Pluto: Nix, Hydra, Kerberos, and Styx, with diameters ranging from a few tens to a few hundred kilometers. These small moons, orbiting both Pluto and Charon, likely formed from material ejected by a significant impact event, possibly involving Charon's formation. The unique double system of Pluto and Charon, along with its other moons, provides an extraordinary opportunity for researchers to understand how planetary systems evolve, especially in the outer regions of our solar system. It's clear that Pluto, once considered a remote and icy object, holds many mysteries and surprises, providing a better understanding of the Kuiper Belt and the dynamic processes that shape distant celestial bodies.